Everybody, this is Kevin from Texas Yard Man and More, and it is the end of January 2024, and this is my Flordaking peach tree, and I am going to do some pruning of it. Last year I did get a lot of fruit on it, but it was a little bit smaller than I'd like it to be, so I'm going to do some pruning so that this year I can focus more on larger peaches. And so I was just going to show you how I go about pruning it, and I'm going to try to get in here closer with the camera so you can see a lot of these branches, and this should overall help the fruit production on it to be larger. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm going to do here. Bring the camera in. So here's my tree. It's roughly anywhere from 15 to 18 feet tall. That's just estimating. And I've got 3 or 4 large branches that everything hinges off of. And so I get a lot of fruit off this tree. And you can see I've got a lot of these smaller branches that have popped up. And I'm going to trim some of these back. And all the ones that are pointing towards the center of the tree, I'm going to focus on those. You don't want the middle section to be with branches. You want that to be open so you get a lot of good airflow, and the tree can focus on production towards the outer branches. So I'm going to focus on doing a lot of these. I may have to get my ladder to get these higher branches, but I'm just going to trim this back a lot. A lot of these smaller twigs and branches that are popping up here, you can see right in here, a lot of that. A lot of these branches have a lot of those smaller branches coming off of it. So, and you can see a lot of these in towards the center. I'm going to take all these off. They're growing towards the center. I'm going to take that branch off. So I'm going to set the camera down, and I'm just going to focus on snipping some of these. And I've got my hand shears here, and this will do perfect. And I've got some smaller ones here that I usually use for the leaf stems, and this can be used for like the super small branches, but it's a good little hand shear. So I've got some right here towards the center. We're just going to take those off. And the tree is still in dormancy, so there's no budding or anything like that, no leaves sprouting out. It's in dormancy, so I wanted to get this done now, because in about another month or so we're going to start to see flower buds and leaves starting to come out, so better to do it now. Anything growing towards the center of the tree we want to take out. And I'm just throwing them right down on the ground. This is a nice, healthy, vibrant tree. And this is a nice, strong branch, but I'm going to take it off, because it's growing towards the center. And some of these branches that are growing downward, I like to take those off. And it's kind of like you're sculpting the tree. And I know it seems like I'm cutting a lot off, but it's going to help the tree in the long run. So you're playing the long game with these. You want to kind of train it up the way that you want to shape it, and you know, these can generate many more branches that you can eventually prune off, but you want to keep the ones that kind of help to shape the tree. And make sure you focus on, if you see any dead branches, definitely cut those off. Even if it's a weaker branch, you want to trim those off. You can see a new shoot right here, actually. And you kind of want to space them out. You don't want too many branches cluttered together. So about every 10 inches or so, it's a good kind of a good rule of thumb. You don't want them to be bunched. And this is one of my favorite trees. I love this tree. And this year I'm going to be planting a nectarine tree, which is closely related to the peach tree. It produces stone fruit, and I'm going to do another separate video on that. But they're like 95% close to a peach tree, but it has smoother skin. The fruit's the same color and everything. So we're just going to get this trimmed up, continue working on this. If you do not trim this and you just let it continue to grow with all these branches on here, you risk fruit production that's going to put too much stress on these trees, on the branches, and you'll have to end up risking breaking these. And I'm going to take you in here and show you. I've already snipped a bunch of this off, but I'm going to have to get the ladder to trim up higher. And I'm going to show you the result of the ice storm we had that put stress on these branches. And good thing is it healed up, so I'll show you that. So if you come in here, you can see a scar on here. That's from when we had that ice storm, and it caused these branches. Basically it was water that froze on all these branches, and it caused this tree to lop over, and it put undue stress on these branches. And so, you know, in order to prevent it from breaking, I had to come out here and put those 2x4s up on it to keep these branches from snapping. So you can see scars on this tree. It came back, it healed itself. You can see a really big scar here as well. So pruning is definitely helpful for your trees. You definitely want to do it. and this is a great time of the year to do it. I'm down here in central Texas, so this tree has a lot of smaller branches and twigs on it, and this is a great time before it starts to bud to come out and take care of this. So I'm just going to continue on, and then I'll come back when I've got all these branches trimmed up, and then you can see what it looks like then. Alright, and we're back, and I stand about 6 foot tall, and so I was able to reach most of the branches that needed to be pruning, and you know, I did leave the upper branches a little bit thicker than down below, but I got most of these branches trimmed up, and the center of the tree is open, so we got some good airflow. I did run into a few branches that were dead, so I cut those off, but the idea is just to thin it out so that you can focus the tree on growing larger fruit. And I hadn't really pruned this one too much in the last 4 years, so it was really due for a good pruning. It's a heavy producer, so I'm very happy with that. So I just continue to feed it fertilizer once a year, and I keep mulch around the base of the tree, and I water it frequently, especially in the summer and you know, the winter months and on into spring when it's producing. So this tree is a great variety for central Texas. It's called the Flordaking, Flordaking, and it's endured the cold weather, and like I said, the fruit is really tasty. It's delicious, and so you can see down on the ground here, I'm going to bring the camera in, all the cuttings that I took off of it, quite a bit. And this tree is going to do well. It's nice and pruned up. Can't wait to see what it produces here. By the end of May we should have some really nice peaches, so looks really good. So don't overthink it, just come out here with a hand shears and just start cutting them off. You can't go wrong. It does grow back, so don't feel like you have to do it a certain way, but I just kind of stick to some basic rules. Keep the branches about 10 inches apart if you can. Some branches are larger than others, and so in order to keep the tree from snapping, you gotta prune it. So otherwise the fruit on this tree will it'll just cause it to lop over. So there is my early spring review. We're still in winter actually, but come out here before it starts to bud. So great little tree. It's in my backyard where I live, and I've got some other trees over here. Here's my methley. I already pruned some big branches off of this one. These bloom right around the same time, and I'm hoping that the pruning on this is really going to increase the production as well. This tree is my first tree, and it's very large. It's probably about the same height, maybe a couple feet taller, and I've really opened it up. So that's a methley plum. Those also do well here in central Texas. And then I've got a pear tree over here. So my next tree is a nectarine, so I'll do a separate video on that. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to my channel, and give me a thumbs up. Make some comments if you have any questions, and then if you want to be notified of any future videos, just hit the notification bell in the upper right hand corner. Once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate all my subscribers, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.